This man picks up a dodgeball. Now, mind you, I know he's about to throw it at me because why wouldn't he, right? This man cocks back and then rockets that ball like at like 40 miles an hour into my direction. Now, obviously, I'm in Ultra Instinct, so obviously I weave that joint, right? Unfortunately, the girl behind me. So I feel like as a kid, if you asked me what my favorite class was in school, and you gave me lunch and gym as an option, I 1000% would have said gym class, especially in middle school when like that was really the only class where like you didn't have to sit at a desk for freaking like 7 hours a day trying not to fall asleep because your teacher's boring. And my most favorite thing in middle school gym class was when we played dodgeball. Or I guess technically it was agility ball because we weren't allowed to play dodgeball for some reason. I think it's because it was too dangerous, and like the balls that we played with, they were like these like weird like foam like softballs, but it was basically just a watered down version of dodgeball. It was the same rules, you know, if you get hit, you're out. But the important thing was, as a kid, that was my favorite activity. Like I couldn't get enough of that activity. And you know, honestly, me looking back on it now, I was low-key a menace to society when it came to dodgeball, bro. Like, I would be in gym class, I would be like completely normal. Like, I'd be just your average like student, you know what I'm saying? Soon as the teacher said we were gonna play dodgeball that day, when I tell you my aura would shift, it's almost like I snapped and I was just a completely different person. Like, my aura was going crazy. Like, if you were next to me, you would have sensed a disturbance in the force, bro. I'm telling you. Like, you know how in like Bleach, you know, when like an enemy appears or like someone really powerful, you can freaking sense their spiritual pressure. Yeah, that was me. You know what I'm saying? That was me. If you were standing next to me, you would have felt my spiritual pressure. And to add on top of this, when it came to dodgeball, I had something that I like to call the Vegeta energy. Basically, the Vegeta energy, if I were to describe it to you, would be like purposefully putting yourself at a disadvantage to make winning more challenging. That's how I would describe it. And some of you may be asking, okay, but how does this apply to dodgeball? Well, you know, at my school, when we played dodgeball on like, you know, the basketball court. And the way we split teams was, you know, the half court line kind of separated the sides. So, you know, on one side it'd be one team, on the other side it'd be another team. And the average student or the average dodgeball person playing this activity, you know, they would probably stand, I would say, around like the foul line. That was probably where like the most people probably were, you know what I'm saying? And then like the people who really didn't want to play, you know, the people who really didn't feel like playing, you know, they would probably stand somewhere around like here, you know, in the back, kind of towards like the baseline. You know, they really didn't want to get hit with anything or anything. And then, you know, you got your small group of people who I'd probably call like the athletics, or like the people who actually, you know, liked playing. They would probably be somewhere like around the 3-point line, maybe a little bit further, you know what I'm saying? And then there's me. I would stand somewhere around here. Oh! Yeah, I was that guy. So you may be looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, why would you stand there? That's like the most contentious spot. You know, that's where most people are going to be throwing stuff. That's like, you know, that like it's almost a death sentence. And if you would have asked me at the time, I would have told you, that's the point. I would have told you that's the point, okay? I told you, you gotta understand, like I said, my aura shifts when it's time to play dodgeball. You know, it's almost like I activated the Sharingan, or, you know, I'm an Ultra Instinct, you know what I'm saying? If I stood where everyone else was, you simply weren't hitting me. I'm sorry, I simply wasn't getting hit. It was too easy to dodge, you know what I'm saying? So instead of doing that, when the game started, I would walk all the way to the front of the crowd where nobody else was, in the middle of the court, and just stare down at my enemies. Just just look down on them, assert my dominance on the court. Everyone else on that court was ants to me, okay? You know what I'm saying? I would just, you know what I'm saying? I would just stand there and just bait people to throw it at me, you know what I'm saying? I would catch them, you know what I'm saying? I would catch, catch balls to get people out. I would dodge, I would just, you know what I'm saying? Just being a menace, just being like him, in the zone, just locked in the middle of the court. You know what I'm saying? When I tell you, I would just do like the craziest things that you wouldn't even think of doing. Like, I would do things like, say you try to throw it at me, I would like jump over it, do like a roll on some like action movie type stuff, and like grab my ball and like throw it at you to get you out. I was just him, you know what I'm saying? When it came to dodgeball, I was just him. Boy, if you don't... Like, bro, I'm telling you, if my school had a dodgeball team, I best believe I would have been on the starting lineup, bro. Now, I know some people are probably like, it's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? I know some of you are probably like, bro, gym class was never that serious, bro. You don't gotta go that hard, and you don't gotta like, why, like, you know what I'm saying? Why are you trying so hard? You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you. Gym class really isn't that serious. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, this was really the only activity that I really even like put that much effort into. And you know what's crazy? I wouldn't even say that I was the biggest menace when it came to dodgeball. All of my friends, we all love dodgeball. And to be honest, I would consider some of them even more menace than me. Specifically, one of my friends. Now, when we played, like I said, we didn't play actual dodgeball. It was called agility ball. And one of the rules that they had in place was, no headshots, basically. You couldn't hit people in their head or like their face, basically. If you did, I think it was if you did it like on accident or something, like if you didn't mean to do it, you would just have to go out and then wait till the next round. And if you did it on purpose, then you would sit out the rest of gym class. So keeping that in mind, there was this one time we were playing dodgeball, right? And you know me, my style of dodgeball was, of course I was in the middle of the court just doing my thing, but my style that I played when I was playing dodgeball, it was more of a defensive style. I would say it was more of a defend and counter, dodge and counter, bob and weave type stuff, because I was an ultra instinct, you know what I'm saying? I waited for my opponents to make their move first, then I would counter. You know what I'm saying? I was more defense heavy. Meanwhile, my friend, he was definitely more attack heavy. Basically, he liked sending people back to the lobby, basically. That's basically what he liked doing, you know what I'm saying? So, obviously, I kept my eye on him because, we were on opposite teams, so we were obviously, we were ops at the time. So I'm keeping my eye on him. I see this man pick up a dodgeball, right? Mind you, he's kind of like, he's not at the front like I am. He's probably closer to the foul line than to where I am, you know what I'm saying? This man picks up a dodgeball. Now, mind you, I know he's about to throw it at me because why wouldn't he, right? This man cocks back, like, all the way on some, like, he cocks back on some, like, Hisoka versus Gon type stuff. This man stretches his arm all the way back and then rockets that ball, like, at, like, 40 miles an hour into my direction. Man, you would have thought Gon just did rock, paper, scissors on that ball, bro. Now, obviously, I'm an Ultra Instinct, so obviously I weaved that girl, right? Unfortunately, the girl behind me, she wasn't so as let's just say she wasn't as gifted. And I think you guys know what happened next.
Oh! Somebody! Oh! You need to leave.
Yeah, she got laid out.
God,
and my friend had to sit out the rest of the gym class. Now, he didn't do it on purpose, but I think just because of how hard the ball reflected off her face, the gym teacher was like, nah, you gotta sit out, bro. You gotta sit out. And yeah, it was at that moment that I understood why the school stopped allowing us to play dodgeball and why we had to call it agility ball.
richer than ever. Whipping a Tesla, cars, hoes, etc.